All right, you launch your ads.
Yeah.
What happens?
That was the highest I have ever felt in my entire life, other than winning the Jiu-Jitsu championships. I felt like, holy shit, this is a system where I'm putting money in and money's coming out. Random people are seeing this video and then buying my product.
It doesn't feel real.
Does not feel, it feels like Monopoly, made up video game type life. The best feeling in the world, the best drug in the world is making money with integrity doing something you love.
Yep. 100%.
There's no better drug.
What's going on, content creators? It's Anthony here, and today with me, I'm super excited. All the way from the West Coast, I have Josh Macin, the Detox dude, in person. We're going to talk about a lot today. He has, scaled a multi-seven-figure business in under 2 years.
Correct.
Under 2 years. He's one of the healthiest and happiest people I've ever met, which, as an entrepreneur, crucial to get that down. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. He's already ripped apart my house multiple times for some of the things I have. But yeah, man, thank you so much for flying out and being here.
Honor to be here, man.
Tell people a little bit about, what do you help people do?
I help people cleanse their bodies, right, of toxins. I help people with mindset and spiritual guidance. Basically, I help, my tagline on my Instagram is I help high performers to heal and awaken. And that's a pretty good summary, but it's really just about becoming more whole, becoming more grounded, and becoming more healthy and happy as a human being while still crushing life. Okay. So it's not like a new age spiritual, like how to become enlightened, but it's like, hey, you're a little bit out of balance in X, Y, and Z arenas. Don't you want to win in that business, but also win in your life and in your joy and your happiness and in your health? Mm-hmm. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did Detox Dude become a thing? Like when did that name come into play?
So 2016, I was basically a dead man walking, which is a whole long story, but I was really sick for about 4 years. And I wrote a blog post when I came out of hell. I did a detoxification protocol. It's a really complex protocol. And it took me out of hell after 4 years of being sick. And I wrote a blog post and I sent it around to a few people. And one guy posted it on his website and it went viral. And I put my email address at the bottom of it. And I started to get like 10, 15 emails a day asking for advice. So I answered the advice for 30 days, 30, 40 days. And I didn't even think about a business. I didn't even understand that I could have a business in this arena. And eventually, like 30 days into it, I'm doing, 2 hours a day of answering emails. And I'm like, wait a minute, I could charge money for this potentially. And I started charging money. I opened up an LLC and I literally created the Detox Dudes.
How'd you come up with that name? Was it just like, it
was
off?
a friend. So my friend who had been with me through the whole thick and thin of that journey up until really the very end, he was also sort of into this stuff. And so I was just thinking I would start it with him, even though that never really amounted to anything. So I thought Detox Dudes. First, it was just going to be Detox Dude. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I want this to be a community-based thing. So Detox Dudes.
And you serve women as well, too,
I serve women as well. And
yeah.
actually, my audience is 40% women and I have 40% women clients and I'm Detox Dude. So I think it just doesn't matter.
It's such a good name. I mean, it is such a good name. So I was curious, I think Post Malone, his name is from like a auto rap name generator. And so I'm always curious where people's names come from.
It just came intuitively.
Yeah. Okay. So you briefly mentioned it there, but what was the process of you finding Detox?
I basically fell very, very ill. And I've told this story hundreds of times on other platforms. But what I will say is that I fell very ill in 2013 after being a jiu-jitsu world champion, Pan American champion, on top of the world. And for 3.5 to almost nearly 4 years, I was traveling around the world, going to doctors, living in the Amazon jungle for almost a year, drinking ayahuasca, taking mushrooms, doing all kinds of different
to heal yourself,
to heal myself.
Yeah.
None of this was for fun.
Yeah.
None of this was like, oh, let's go to this country. Everything was like life or death. Mm-hmm. Hey, I hear they have this modality. I was having severe depression, severe anxiety, panic attacks. But digestive system shut down. I lost a ton of weight. Every day was hell. And this is all putting it very lightly, right? Because we're in a good mood right now.
Yeah.
and it's like, there's a lot of darkness in that. But So yeah, for 4 years, I was traveling around the world to try and figure out what was wrong with me. Like no one knew what was wrong with me. And they would use the labels of like depression, anxiety, and I would take the medications, but nothing provided any results. And then I learned about mercury poisoning from mercury fillings, from sushi. And I started to get tested for mercury. My levels were off the charts. And then I started to contact some detox experts and learn about real detox. Because I was detoxing and doing fasting and cleansing my colon and drinking ayahuasca, eating fruits and vegetables. But I started to learn about real deep intracellular detox. And that's when my life, like I have 3 lives in this one life. It's like before illness, and then post-illness.
And when did post-illness start for you?
Post-illness started basically July, August 2016.
2016. Okay, yeah. So you've been out of the woods for a while now.
Well, I wasn't out of the woods. I was still kind of creeping my way out of the woods, like crawling out of the swamp until 2018. But I started my business in 2017, and I was like, I was almost dead. I'm now functional. I'm not healthy, but I'm functional.
Yeah.
You should take my advice.
Yeah. And now you are like top of the mountain.
Feeling awesome.
I mean, you've become probably a top 1% of 1% detox knowledge expert on planet Earth.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, I don't know anybody else in this space that I mean, obviously we're connected now, but I mean, I see other people talk about what you do and it's like, I don't know if anybody's doing that right now.
Yeah. I get really, really good results from people who have unlimited money, who've gone to all different people, all different experts, and I get them results.
That is crazy, man. I don't want to go too deep into that dark hole that you were in, but like, what was like a day in the life back then? Like, were you in bed 16 hours a day? Like, what was it?
I was too panicky to be in bed. So when you have this level of panic, you cannot be in one position for more than 5-10 seconds. You sit down in a chair, just calm down, Josh. 5 seconds later, you're crawling in your skin and you cannot even sit in that chair. You have to go for a walk. You're completely, you lose your mind.
Yeah.
So I was jumping around from room to room, location to location, crying, screaming, sweating. Okay, just don't kill yourself until 1 p.m. All right, 1 p.m. would come. Don't kill yourself until 2 p.m. Literally as if you were on a bad acid trip, acid with a bad weed, with someone holding a gun to your head and your dog just died.
Oh man.
And you just missed a step walking down the stairs and that feeling when your stomach, like your heart goes into your stomach, that biochemical feeling all day, every day for 3.5 years. It would subside by maybe 20-30% at times. And I would sleep for a couple hours, looping, panicking thoughts all day long. I was lucky if I had depression, because depression meant that my nervous system calmed down a little bit, so where I could actually feel again and feel like, oh my God, this is so painful. When you're in that panic, you can't even, you're like electrically, it's like someone has like a cattle prod into you, and you're just literally just like, you can't eat, you can't digest. It's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell.
And you invested like your life savings into solving it, right?
Everything I had. Yeah. I went into debt. I went into bankruptcy. I had to file for bankruptcy. I had over $80,000 in debt. And I was also had savings, and I also was making money as a caddy at a country club.
Yeah.
So the only thing that kept me grounded was going out on the golf course and just holding the 2 bags, putting my sunglasses on. Yes, sir. And just giving them their golf clubs, yes, sir. Like that was the extent of what I could do.
Was your life at that point in time healthy in terms of like your habits, like by the typical American standard? Like you were
insanely healthy.
You were doing everything right.
Not before my illness started.
Yeah.
But once I was already a couple years into it, I was doing everything right. My water, my food, the diet, my thoughts, my lifestyle, who I hung out with, sunshine, nature. It was my whole life 24/7, while at the same time being in a panic attack.
Oh, gosh, dude, that is insane.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm glad that we touched on that. that sounds like absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to think about that every time I have a bad day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's grounding to think about how bad it truly can be, know? So you get out of that 2017, you start Detox Dudes. It was a partnership at first.
Not ever really. It was just like a friend who was like, yeah, I'll help you out. And then 2 weeks later it was gone.
It was gone. Okay. All right. So your first, the first transaction was not courses. It was just like, let me give you advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these people found you all through the marketing of that one blog post.
Correct.
Wow. How many clients do you think you got from that one blog post?
Probably 5 to 7.
Okay. And what were you charging?
I was charging $700 for 3 months of coaching.
Oh my gosh.
I have my first PayPal stub still.
700.
We could pop it on the screen.
So your hourly rate was?
Oh my God. I was literally devoting my whole life to the client for $700 because I would think about them all day. Because by the way, no matter how much you charge when you're new, you feel like you owe them the world when they give you money.
100%, which is good. I mean, because you probably crush their results. Like
I did.
Probably got them incredibly good results. And so, all right, one blog post, 7 clients. How long did those 7 clients, like what stage of life does that bring you into?
So then I made my own website all around the same time. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting consistent clients. Maybe I would jump up to $1,000 or whatever for coaching. And I would say that got me to a place of like, holy shit, I have $10,000 in my bank and I filed for bankruptcy. So all my debt was gone. And now I can move out of my mom's basement.
Yeah.
So that's where I was in my life.
Dude, I made all of our courses at my parents' house.
It's real.
That's wild. Granted, in better conditions. I wasn't coming straight out of bankruptcy, but like that's humble beginnings. I love that.
Very humble beginnings.
Yeah. So $10,000 in the bank account, you're doing coaching, and like what was the thing that you were doing right at that stage? And then after that, what's the thing that you were doing wrong?
What I was doing right at that stage was really caring. Like caring. I put my whole life into I would literally check up on the client every day. Like I thought it was life and death for me. It kind of was, right? Like this business has now changed my life thanks to these humble beginnings. But it was like, for me, it was just, I cared a lot. I wanted to get them results. I gave them everything I could. And I would say I did that right. What I think I did wrong was didn't have a separation between professional and personal. And like, I didn't know how to talk to people in a professional capacity. Like everyone was dude or bro or this or that. Like I was just like a teenager still, even though I was in my 20s. Like I just felt like didn't know how to conduct myself professionally. And I would say I wasn't organized. I didn't have structure, spreadsheets and systems and where to order things. It was just me personally giving someone coaching versus a structure and a system that they rest on. They were just resting on me as a person.
And you were flying blind at this point in time, right?
Oh, I had no guidance.
You had you literally were like, I'm just going to charge this because it feels right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to that first blog post, what was the reason you wrote that? Was it literally just to get something off your chest onto the internet?
Literally purely emotional. It was like, I just nearly died for 4 years. The world needs to understand what's possible in the human experience and that what's happening. I was basically saying, hey guys, you're being poisoned. Yeah. I was the canary in the coal mine. You're being poisoned. And this was in 2016. There wasn't all this Instagram buzz that you see now. Like not that I was one of the first, but I did feel like an OG. Like, hey, shit's bad here. This, like, you're dying.
Yeah. Everything in your life is like slowly killing you.
Yeah, which is kind of mainstream accepted now.
Yeah. Oh, and it's probably getting worse. I mean, in a sense, certain people are enlightening to it and it's getting better. But I also feel like at the same time, there's so much better marketing and better, sweeping things under the rug to the point where like, the dish soap, the Myers that you mentioned the other day is like, I thought that was an organic company.
Yes.
And it's not. It's Johnson & Johnson or whatever it is. Crazy. So how long was that phase of your business? Just coaching?
So it depends how into minutia we want to get, but for purposes of your audience, right? Like, I would say there were 3 phases. There was complete rookie Josh. There was like 5 years Josh on his own, like learning as best as I could. And then there was when I met content creator.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. There's a 5-year gap in there of you running your
Yes.
business. That's crazy.
Yes.
I always feel like in my brain sometimes it was like Josh started, he was getting the ball rolling, and then he joined 30-day course creator. But it was literally like, what was that 5 years like?
So yeah, the first phase was what we just talked about. Eventually was charging whatever, a couple grand, but it was the same thing where like I was making 10K a month. I got to 10K a month on my own, but I was fully booked and like at capacity with scale.
And
right?
full time, like being able to do what you want, but like knowing that there's more.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was occupied all day, every day, calls, Telegram messages, like no freedom, even though I could live wherever I wanted. Right. And then I would say there was a 5-year period where I learned how to get from like somewhere between 10 and like 22K a month. And there was 5 years where I was in that window.
Ups and downs.
Lowest it would ever get is like 8K a month. Highest I ever had was like 30K a month. And that was once, right? In the 5 years. And then like a great month would be 20, 25, 22K would be like great.
Nice. Okay.
Right. And that was 5 years. And that was a YouTube channel. And that was one-on-one coaching. And that's it.
How big was your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel was working its way from 20 to about 35,000 subscribers.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And you started it from scratch.
Started it from scratch.
Yeah. So what was like your first phase of getting on to YouTube? Like how did you get your first couple subscribers?
My first ever video I did was basically a suicide note. And I didn't say that in the video, but it was basically, here's what I've been through. And I was still sick. I didn't have any answers yet. It was, I really don't want to die. If my family sees this, like tell them I love them. It's still up there. It's still up on YouTube. Wow. Like, here's what I've been through. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to go to Africa to do Iboga. I'm probably going to die. I hope the world sees this one day.
Did it like get
It has
traction?
like 10,000 views,
okay.
20,000 views
okay.
now, right?
Yeah, years later.
I even got thousands of views back then and got some subscribers.
Okay.
And then I came back like 6 months later and I was like, hey, I'm feeling better. Here's what I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so just documenting your journey.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like targeted or
no.
And you were just making content.
I would put a camera on in my kitchen and just be like, here's how I do this thing. And I would, it was like, so I used like my what was it called? iPad or something.
Yeah.
And I just would like flip that on and be in the middle of the
selfie
forest.
cam.
Yeah.
There you go.
And talk for 40 minutes nonstop.
Yeah.
No editing and put it up. Right?
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. I mean, I think that like I was always apprehensive to a YouTube channel because I was like, who wants to listen to me? Like there are so many bigger experts out there. And my biggest regret is literally starting when we did. Like I wish we started because now, you know, even once you get 10,000 subscribers, it's like, imagine 10,000 people in a room, you know, in the credibility that warrants, even that. And, you know, regardless. So that was your primary marketing method at the time?
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
So people would watch your videos.
Yes.
You see, all right, Josh is a crazy passionate dude who actually is obsessed with Detox.
Yeah.
They're struggling with something. They would reach out. Did you have like a specific call to action in these videos?
I would have like email exchanges with like, tell me about yourself, answer some of these questions, and then I would get on a call with them.
Did you say that in the videos though? Or was it just like, hey,
never sold anything.
Never sold anything.
Never sold anything. I just had links. I just always had links.
Yeah, in the description of the videos. Okay, cool. What kept you at that phase for 5 years?
Like kept me at that level?
Yeah. Like because obviously, you know, you joined 30-day course creator, which is great, and things changed a lot for you. What were you lacking in that 5-year period that kept you at that level?
YouTube eventually kind of started to, shut my content down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just a spotty thing to talk about. But basically like they started to get a little crazy with alternative health and also, I was making some edgy content that I probably in hindsight should have tapered.
Sure.
So they kind of just like snipped my channel. It was literally overnight and my views just got...
That was a big phase of YouTube too. I remember a lot of people with, you know, alternative content. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because you lost your channel, right?
It still have my channel. I don't post on it. And I post shorts on it. And I'm going to make a new video.
Right.
Maybe this will be like the first video on my new channel,
Yeah.
right? But basically I do need that's like most important thing from here on out.
That's your next level. Like, it's funny you're coming full circle now.
I need to go make another YouTube channel and do what you do. That's for sure. But Sorry, what was the question again?
What kept you stuck there? So like YouTube
Yeah.
slowly started dwindling.
So YouTube was cutting into me and into my, you know, viewership. My website, I got hacked. So my SEO I was rated number 3 for heavy metal detox,
ranking,
number 1 for coffee enemas, number 2 for suppositories. I was in the top of everything just because my channel was getting, this wasn't like it is today with all of the big names and Dr. Axe and all of this. Like it was different back then in 2017. And I was really high SEO, really high.
Blogging.
You
were blogging in your post
and crushing at blogging.
Yeah.
And then someone hacked me. And my website turned to shit. All my SEO changed. Everything went into like Viagra. And I think it was a competitor, honestly.
Yeah.
And I never recovered. SEO wise, I never recovered.
Okay.
So I got hacked and YouTube thing happened all in the same like 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
And I was like, shit, how am I going to make a living? And
did the income disappear?
No,
it didn't.
Because I had so much good karma with clients.
Gotcha. So these clients were recurring?
No, referring me people nonstop.
Oh.
That middle zone, basically no structure, you know, relying on referrals, relying on universe, trust, like manifestation.
Yep.
Just, it's coming, and it was coming, but was not growing.
Did you have like bigger aspirations? Because I mean, by my measurement of success at that point in time, like you were doing great.
Yeah.
But like, did you have aspirations of like what were you thinking about or like dreaming about at that point in time?
This is what changed everything for me.
Okay.
I met a woman, and she's my wife now. We're about to have a baby.
That's awesome.
Right? And she's Italian. She's crazy. And we started traveling the world. And I realized that I really need to stay in good locations. Like with my health history, I can't stay in shitty, moldy places or like a terrible Airbnb. I actually, if I want to enjoy my life, I need good, clean energy around me. And when I started to realize is to travel the world and stay in good, clean energy, it's expensive. It's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You want to get like $100 motel? Okay, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so whenever I want something and I can't get it, as a man, it's like my wheels start spinning like, oh my God, I'm a failure. If I just want to travel the world with my girlfriend and I'm like burning every dollar I make, $200,000 a year is nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's fine if I have an apartment and I stay home all day and I order my groceries and like, but to really live the way I want to live, which I didn't realize I wanted to live like that.
Yeah.
Once that clicked, like I want to live like this, I was like, I need to find another, like another up leveling for all of this.
And you knew it was continuing doing the
for
same
sure
thing.
detox dudes. Cause I was passionate. The passion never left.
Yeah. And that is essential. Like if you were to ask me the number one, universal law of successful people in especially the online field, education, non-negotiable, it's passion.
100%.
If you're locked in an elevator with somebody for 5 hours, what topic do you wish you share in common with them? And you have that with Detox, right? Like you could do that forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
All things health.
Yeah.
All things becoming a healthier, more well-balanced, grounded, awakened being. That's like my like obsession.
Okay. So there was never a question in your brain of potentially doing something else.
Never.
Love that.
I would have lived the rest of my life $10K a month with that career, versus like going to like, I don't know, make $1 million to do something random.
You can't even, you get to the point in life where it's like, I don't know what else I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like there's literally nothing.
And that's clear with you too, because sometimes we talk for like an hour and a half on like a coaching call.
Yeah.
Working with him, coaching me for business, and I'm like, dude, we're like, it's like an hour and a half now. You're like, dude, I could talk all day about this.
A lot of times you're like, I don't want to be disrespectful of your time, and I'm like, fuck you.
I'm like, I wish I could talk about this.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, and that's why I enjoy working with you, because it's like that passion is mutual on both sides.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a great little tangent that we both got sidetracked by, but so that was it. What was your dream? Like what kept you up at night as an entrepreneur? And it was knowing that you had not like, oh, I need $1 billion, but like, I just want this next level of living.
My dream was $50K a month.
Yeah.
That was the unachievable dream. I've never heard of anyone doing this. I was like, this is unachievable in this industry. If I do this, maybe it'll happen in 10 years. Like maybe I'll get there in 10 years.
You write it down on a vision board and you're like,
yeah,
great. I would
like
love
it's not
it
possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Like even if I just get 10 more K a month, I'm going to be so happy.
Yeah.
That was like kind of my goal. And then I was like 50K will be a dream.
Yeah. Okay. And so that phase of traveling is happening. You're aware of what your next desire is. What changes?
So a whole year traveling the world, I couldn't actually make the changes while traveling because it's hard to really do deep grounded work while traveling. It changes something really deeply. So we did a whole year and I burnt through everything I had. All the money I made, all of my, like a lot of my investments, not all of my investments, but a lot of my investments. And I had like very little money in the bank and landed in San Diego with my wife because we got married during that 1 year.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't realize you got married on that. Wow.
So we got married.
Yeah.
We were in New Jersey for a little bit, came to San Diego and rented this place that was well outside of my budget. Okay. Way outside of my budget. All right. And I was just like, I'm going to make this 1 month happen. And I need to figure out how to do this from here on out. Like I need to make, it was basically 70% of my monthly revenue in rent.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, I'm taking
San Diego,
risk.
man. Yeah. That's a pro tip. Don't live in San Diego.
There, And then I found content creator. I saw your fucking face on an ad.
That quickly, really?
It was, I saw you guys right before I paid the rent.
Yep.
I was in Palm Springs just before moving to San Diego. I was in an Airbnb for 1 month.
Yep.
Just before getting the lease. I had signed the lease, but we didn't start yet. And I'm like, what do I do for business? Like, who do I follow? I need a coach. Mm-hmm. It was so clear. And like in that time, I realized when you're really suffering with a problem, you need a fucking coach. I can curse on here. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like you need it.
Yeah.
You need like a system. I don't want to say a coach, a human being, but you need a system to follow.
A path. Yeah. You need
path.
Somebody who's walked the path that you're walking and can just make sure you don't step on a bomb, or step on anything that's just going to screw you over or leave you spending 3 years without direction.
Yes. And it doesn't even need to be a perfect path, but it needs to be a path because it's so easy to jump off the path when you don't have a path.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, you can't see it. You don't know if it's there. It's dark and you're just like, oh, I'm going the other way. And so when I was asking the universe, like I need help and I need a coach or guidance and I didn't know where to go. And then I saw your fucking face on an ad and it was like, are you dealing with this problem? Do you have this disease? Call 1-800.
Yeah.
It was like a super good ad. I felt your humility. I felt your passion. And I also felt you were speaking directly to my problem. I had a course at that point in time. So I had a course that was $250. I sold like one a week. So like if I'm lucky, 1,000 a month in courses. And I didn't want to keep coaching. Like I didn't want to scale my time. Mm-hmm. I needed a product.
Yeah.
Right?
You need a system to actually sell, not trade your time. Yeah.
And so I saw the ad and I was like, holy shit. And took me, this is like, to give you an understanding of like how different I was 2 years ago. It took me a week to spend $700 on your course.
Really?
Yesterday, I spent like $50,000 on business expenses and without even thinking about it, like automatically, like, like, and it didn't even breathe, like didn't have a second breath, right? Yep. $700 took me a week. Like, do I trust these guys? What do I think? Like, fuck, put it on a toupee, right?
Oh,
like,
did you?
On a toupee, right? And it was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do this.
Yep.
And in that moment, not only did you, and this is, I could go on and on about all this. You cut me off if you need.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if this is not like
essential information, this is great. Yeah.
So I had, in that moment in time, I started looking at the course and I was like, holy shit, I have to focus. Mm-hmm. And you have a tattoo of focus, right? I just realized I don't even have the focus to do the thing that I need to do. That's part of the problem, even though I was healthy. And so I made it my mission to do like something with my diet and my lifestyle to actually be able to focus to that degree. Because I didn't have that precision to be able to look at something and watch it for hours and then take that information and put it into use.
Yep.
So I created like my own little detox protocol. I wouldn't eat until I finished my work for the day. So I just did one meal a day and which birthed basically one of my courses now, which is called the 14-Day Detox.
Yep.
So I invented that when I found your course.
Okay.
And it's a protocol that I teach now. And I invented that when I found your course. I did it, digested your content. It was like you had this missing key for me. It was just like every time you spoke, it was just like a missing key, right? And implemented it, did the fucking, all of the pieces, created my own ads. I did everything myself. I launched the ads, which I created the ads. I wrote the scripts. I did the lighting.
Never run
I did
an
the
ad
filming.
before.
Never did any of this.
Yeah.
All my videos were shit before this. So I learned how to film, how to speak on camera, which is a whole other skill, how to do lighting, how to do script writing, how to do ads, how to do Facebook ads, like how to create the ad, how to market. I didn't even realize until watching your course that I had coached some of the world's best performers.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was cool.
Mm-hmm. It was very cool.
I had all of these guys who I'd helped tremendously, who were world renowned, and I didn't even know that was an asset because I was a coach. I wasn't a marketer.
You suffered from expert syndrome. Like you are so in the trenches. And this is like one of the things I see with people like you who are just so freaking into their course. The worst thing that they are is marketing. Like they're the opposite of a marketer because they honestly can't think like customers can.
Yes.
And I think going through this whole process like that, being forced to write a marketing script, like, hey, you have to write 3 ads. In the perspective of someone who knows nothing about you. They're just problem aware. And I think that, because now you're one of the best marketers I know.
Really?
I mean, now you write stuff and I'm like, oh my God, Josh is like very, very good. But yeah, I mean, I remember
I'm so good I have someone stealing all my info right now.
Yeah, I know. You get the people copying you. I know. But I'll never forget it was one of my first messages to you. And I think I screenshotted it. And it was, I won't say it verbatim because I don't remember exactly what it is, but I was like, in 12 months, you'll have made $1 million.
Yeah.
I remember saying that.
Did.
I was like, I can almost guarantee in 12 months, you'll have $1 million.
I couldn't believe you at all. I did not believe you at all. Yeah. And you were right. And then some.
Yeah. Which is awesome. And so, all right, you launch your ads.
Yeah.
What happens?
That was the highest I have ever felt naturally in my entire life, other than winning the jiu-jitsu championships. I felt like holy shit, this is a system where I'm putting money in and money's coming out. I'm in control. Random people are seeing this video and then buying my product.
It doesn't feel real.
Does not feel, it feels like Monopoly made up video game type life, right? And it was, I literally always thought that was like a scam. Like the only way to do that is to be a scammer.
100%.
Right? And so I start making money and I'm spending $200 a day and I made $400 that day. Spent $500, I made $1,000. I have these people asking me for coaching afterwards. I fill out my coaching. I'm doubling my coaching. I went from 5K to 10K, 10K to 20K, 20K to 30K, 30K to 50K. And like everything. And I mean, this is over the course of 8, 9, 12 months. And then I have all of the back end, stuff, upsells and courses and
you have a whole business. You're not
business.
like I kind of hate the word upsell. It's like McDonald's invented it with the like, do you want fries with that? You know? But like you went from like being a solopreneur with one thing that they sell to literally like a business infrastructure, multiple products, different ways to help people, different modalities for different people in 8 months. Okay, real quick interruption. For anyone watching who wants to launch their own digital product or online course business, just like Josh has, we have, and so many other people, in the description below, there's a link to a brand new free training that we put out. It walks through the same 30-step process that we use to launch online courses. It's exactly what Josh used. It's got to be the single most helpful video for anyone who really wants to get into this stuff. Not only that, but every single day you'll get a new email with a training or a resource that will break this business down even more. We've got tons of case studies in there, marketing trainings, quick tips to get you moving. It's honestly a game changer, so do not miss out. Click that link in the description below. Other than that, back to the podcast.
In 3 to 4 months, I created a completely different entity.
An empire.
Not an empire at that point, but it was a different animal.
Yeah.
Not even the same species anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So crazy, dude. I love it. And I mean, your story it mirrors ours too. I feel like the feeling of like, this doesn't feel real. it's gonna end.
Yeah,
Did you have that
every day? I was emailing you every day. I think it's gonna end. It slowed down today. You're like, Josh, you can't analyze ads on a daily basis.
Yeah. I probably sent that message like 100 times. Yeah. No, because I feel the same way. It's like such a natural feeling when something like that does happen, even though you grinded, like you did the work, you earned it. But especially for people like you and me who were service-based people before, like I shot videos and edited them for clients, and I still do. But like we're trading our time, and the first time you make money without trading your time during the transaction, it feels like it's a better feeling than winning the lottery because you earned it. You didn't buy it. You earned it.
It's not drug money. It's clean money with integrity.
Yeah.
And I said this before, the best feeling in the world, the best drug in the world is making money with integrity, doing something you love.
Yeah. 100%.
There's no better drug.
That's like my goal in life is to just stay in alignment with my passion, allowing me to make money so that I can, give my significant others and the people in my life the life that they deserve and be happy while doing it. Right. Like there's no better alignment in life.
And the word, I don't think you understand how much you impacted me in this way, integrity. While you were speaking, the experience of you from the ad to the course to the mastermind, the whole thing was like they have integrity. And this is what's missing in a lot of businesses. You can feel when someone has integrity. Everything you said was going to happen, happened. It's like, and in the next 5 minutes, you're going to see this. Oh, he was right. And then in the next course, it's this price and we give this and we give that. And there's no false promises. And then there's like, when you convey that level of integrity while selling something, it changed something in my mind. It was like, it's possible. You don't have to be a scammer and you can still make a shitload of money. Because up until I saw you on the ad, because a lot of the ads are gross.
Yeah, I know.
Gross, right? Like so sleazy, so much nonsense. And then I saw your ad and it literally just turned a key in my brain. It was like, you can embody this frequency of integrity and actually loving what you do and believing in what you do, and you can make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And that's when I just was like, I'm all in.
Dude, once you realize that sales isn't like you can sell and help people, it's a major unlock. Because I felt the same thing. Like sales was the least favorite part of everything that I ever did. You know, because it's like I have to charge this price in order to like keep the lights on and stuff. And when you finally are like, no, like I always think about like you're an example that comes to my mind when it's like, you have to charge for it in order to run a business, but like, dang, you can play a small role in the life of people like Josh, and bring them from where they were, or really just play, again, a small role in bringing them from where they were to where they are now, which then is a stepping stone for the next phase of their life, and all that is made possible only through the fact that you run a business and you charge for it, right? If you give it away for free, nobody would care. And that's why like when people struggle, a lot of YouTubers will have this where they're like, I give away everything for free on YouTube. I'll make $5,000 a month from AdSense revenue. And it's like, you will serve those people better by making a business out of what you're doing.
Yes.
Crazy freaking valuable. You take the course, you launch your first ad. It doesn't feel real. Yeah. That is, just for perspective for people, that is 2021?
September 2022.
Dude. That it is mind-boggling. Like there is no such thing as an overnight success, and people will likely look at you, and it's I think of it as an overnight success. That is actually one of the shortest time frames. Like to literally go from 10 to 20 grand a month to, if you're comfortable sharing, like roughly what the business is maybe doing a year right now. Yeah,
multiple 6 figures a month.
Yeah,
in revenue. Yeah, right. As you scale. A lot of expenses, a lot of ad costs. I'm spending $45K a month on ads, $50K a month on ads.
We'll put it like this: the unattainable 50K per month goal
in 3 months was a bad month. What became actually had never happened again. Became like, if that ever happens, I'm gonna quit.
Which is crazy, right? Like the new like the levels of this game are so insane. And then I remember like last year when we were talking about, hey, like you got Black Friday coming. Like there are new things that are constantly opening up your eyes. And this year I'm stoked to see what you do with Black Friday, because that's going to be insane. But
And more important than the money,
Yes.
which is awesome and changes my family's life, this has changed my status and my positioning.
Yep.
Right. So it's like a status and positioning thing where it's like, I'm now playing at such a bigger game.
Mm.
I coached these guys, these big people for years, my whole career, a lot of my career, but I didn't market it and I didn't make it known. And I didn't know how to speak about all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I started to learn how to speak about all of this and actually enroll people in this whole world, it changed the game that I play in life. Just what I mean by that is like the connections, the network, the things that I have access to, the people that I have access to. For me, that's more valuable than money. Like I can literally make a phone call in any arena right now and get the best support in the world. I can call Iman Gaji now. Yeah. I can call you. I can call all these people, lawyers, business people, in their field because they were clients.
Yeah.
Because I helped change their life. And so, and not only clients, but like there's just this positive ripple effect where you create good karma and good energy and it just comes back to you and it's like you become rich in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, there is a special, the word that always comes into my brain is alignment. And I don't think alignment there's not enough weight in that word, but like there is no better feeling on planet Earth than, being able to survive at whatever level you feel comfortable doing, helping people, doing what you love, attracting the audience and attention of people who are interested in what you have to say.
Yeah.
All while not really feeling like you're working 70% of the time.
Yes.
Right. There's always
there's
definitely a lot of work involved. But it doesn't feel like work when you have those other aspects of alignment coming in. And that's a huge accessory benefit too, because Josh is being humble, but like you running ads makes you money. It also gets you in front of millions of people every single month that otherwise you would never have really gotten exposed to, right? Maybe you have a viral video on Instagram or a viral YouTube video, but like you have a machine working on your behalf, bringing eyeballs to your brand. So like you've coached, UFC people, you've coached 8-figure, 9-figure CEOs. And what was like your following like when you started versus what it is now? Not that the following is the most important thing in the world, but it's a measurement.
I had 10,000 followers on Instagram, but no one was commenting, and everything was like a home photo. Like I would do like a home photo of like, here's my cocktail that I made, my like detox cocktail. I don't drink,
of course.
and then and now I have 120,000 on Instagram, 80,000 on TikTok, and 180,000 on Facebook, and hundreds of DMs a day. It's like literally a machine that's churning out. And I get DMs from people, like I get DMs from literally famous actresses and actors and singers every day. Like, hey, can you help me detox? You know? So like I kind of feel like a celeb, but it's not my goal at all. But again, the status and the positioning, it makes you feel big in life, which is very valuable. It's very intoxicating in a healthy way. Like you feel like you're up to something. You feel like you're, moving towards greatness and making a statement on the planet.
Yeah. Right? No, I think that's super. It's a aspect of turning your passion into your product. That I don't think is talked about a lot, right? Like people get into it, they want the money and they want the freedom, but to have the audience and the attention and the equity that builds in everyone's hearts and mind, just because you're helping people, it's huge. And now that equity you can take with you on any endeavor you do in the future, right? Like literally you could launch a new product, you could launch a digital product, you could create a supplement line, you could literally like build out more teams and do all this stuff. And because of that, I hate the word influencer, but because of that influence, you have your risk is mitigated so much. And that all comes again from not just trying to do everything and help everyone for free, because it's hard to take that seriously, but turning it into a product where you can monetize it. That's the key at the end of the day.
And you actually get to meet people where they're at. A lot of people can't even afford your coaching or wouldn't even be able to digest it. People just want a little video course, or they just want something to start dabbling in, right? So you just have this system of a menu, like you have taught me in the past. Like you want a menu that meets people where they're at. And if they want the deluxe cheeseburger with fries and the large drink, hey, it's $50,000.
No, totally. So tactically for people
Yeah.
right now, I think it would be really cool to get a breakdown of what are your top 3 marketing, your client acquisition strategies right
Sure.
now. Facebook ads you've mentioned.
So yeah, Facebook, Instagram ads, and that goes to a $79 course, which is an amazing 14-day detox. And then I also do Instagram Reels, which are really cool
You've been
as well.
blowing
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
Instagram lately.
yeah.
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 And that's newish, right? Like
That's new. Yeah. I had only done ads, and then I realized that, you know, those video reels really create awesome credibility.
100%.
They're fun to do.
Yep.
You get to make a name for yourself in that
Yep.
way.
So number 1 you would say is Facebook and Instagram has been in
Bread and butter since meeting you guys.
Yep. Okay, cool. And then the second biggest marketing strategy, would you say that's short form content on social media?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then third would be referrals.
Referrals. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And would you say that most people, so you have the $79 product on the bottom of your price list.
Yeah.
Would most of your mid-ticket courses, so like your masterclass sale, which is, how much is that one?
We've had it between 3 and 5K.
Okay. So
Yeah.
79, 3 to 5K product, you have 10K coaching.
Yeah.
Everyone on that back end, do they typically all go through that low course, or is that low, the $79 course, how most of them find you?
Most people probably find me through the $79
Mhm.
course, new people, but there's also this whole category of people who've been following me for years. And then it takes them like 3 years. And then they're like, hey, I see that everything you've said, number one, I've seen other people talking about all this stuff now.
Mhm.
So it's real. But number two, I see that your life is going really well. So like you're
Clearly got it
embodying
figured
what
out,
you're
yeah.
teaching. Like
Yeah.
you're getting healthier, you're getting happier, you're getting wealthier,
Mhm.
traveling the world, you're married now. Like, oh, your shit maybe works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they jump right into coaching.
They usually will jump into the mastermind. Yeah.
If you had to say one thing that, like, if one culprit that you could just erase from planet Earth in the world of detox and toxification and getting people in those places of just like no answer, is it, I don't want to answer it for you, but is it heavy metals?
It's heavy metals, and it would be 2 heavy metals specifically, mercury and aluminum.
Really?
Yeah. Mercury and aluminum, in my opinion, are affecting humanity, the mind's like mental health, the body, vibration, consciousness, more than anything on this planet. Maybe digital energy is probably right up there, right? Because digital energy is, you can't even measure the impact that it's having.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like major.
That's terrifying to
Yeah.
think about. Yeah. Yeah.
So like in terms of toxin, it would be mercury and aluminum.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Glyphosate would be close, right around the
Yeah.
corner there.
Yeah. I won't get you started. I know
Yeah,
you've got
yeah,
a
the
long
list is
list.
long.
Yeah. That's just out of personal curiosity. Moving forward in your business, you have a lot of things changing in the life side, right? Like you're expecting a kid, which is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You like, what's the next phase look like? There are a lot of changes coming.
Yeah. I feel I want to, continue to scale to a point where it's just a lot of structure, a lot of automation. And I mean, I'm kind of there. I'm kind of honestly at this point now where there's a lot of structure and not everything is automated, but not everything is resting on me as an individual anymore.
You built out the team.
I've built out a team. I have like 9 people now. And that was really my main goal. And I could say only in the last month has that actually manifested.
Wow.
So that's like, I'm having a huge outbreath right now. I can't see what's next other than like a supplement company at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting to really do more stuff like this, more podcasts and more like creative work and fun work.
Content
versus coaching.
Yep.
Like I love coaching, but I have to have my creative juices flowing for me to be really happy. So this kind of stuff like gets me excited.
I mean, I look at your business and think that you easily have another 2x without changing anything.
I agree.
Yeah. Like I think, we had that conversation a little while back where it was like, what do you do with your day? Create content, right?
Yeah.
Like script something, shoot something,
yes,
and then spend the last 30 of your time managing the team. And I think just between one ad doubled the number of sales that you were getting a couple months ago. Great ad. Like love that. And I think just in a couple more ads, a couple more pieces of content like this per month, you could easily double your business.
I think so.
Yeah, without changing anything.
And that would be the goal.
Yeah.
It would be to get there and then to really assess, how long do I want to do this for?
Yeah.
Where is it going?
Yeah.
Am I going to be fulfilled if I'm not growing?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something I'm interested in, right? Like, oh, if I sit at X amount of money per month and everything is automated, well, now what? That's going to be boring.
That's an interesting question
Right?
I ask myself that a lot too, you know, because we've both been kind of just consistently growing since we started our businesses. And, you know, you hit those days where it's like, oh, I would be down to just chill for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But there's a massive unknown in that of like, after a couple weeks, you know, are you going to be comfortable not working, you know? And I think that's a great spot to be in, because it's literally like, oh, heck yeah, I want to be in a life where like I get bored and want to get back to work.
Yes.
You know, but it's an unknown because I've never done it. And you have never done it either, really.
I've had phases of weeks of like, I've had phases in that middle zone in those 5 years. I've had phases of weeks, even months while traveling the world where I'm just having like a few calls a week and not really doing anything. It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. I was in the best countries of the world, but no mission, no purpose. And not that it was like a break from the mission. So you can enjoy a vacation when you know it's a break.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't actually know what I'm doing.
The lack of clarity on what's next.
Yeah. And how to continue this business and what to do. That is painful.
Yeah. Whereas now you feel like you have a blueprint. Like it's pretty straightforward. It's make more content, make more ads, you know, take on an extra coaching client here and there if you want.
And the inner work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I guess, I don't know if you talk about that much in your courses, but for me, I recognize that the inner work and actually becoming the master in your industry, actually learning and having, you know, integrity and like, you know, slowing down our minds and like, because when we slow down the mind, we get to actually be so creative, and like all your teaching material comes to life when you actually have a slow, grounded mind. You probably take it for granted because you've had it your whole life. You definitely take it for granted. I know you do, but like most people don't have the focus or the calmness in their mind to actually like be creative. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, I do. I do understand. It's funny. I think a lot of people look at me and assume I'm like wildly creative. And I don't know if like creativity is at a strength at all for me. I think it's focus would be the strength. Like I do think I was born with a good ability to focus on things. Whereas I hit that creative wall a lot where I'm like, oh crap. You know, when I'm pressed for an idea is usually the worst I am at coming up with a new idea.
Yeah.
It's always like in those moments of just flow that they kind of come and whatnot. What's the current life that you live, being a creative entrepreneur, running a digital business? What is your number one favorite aspect of it?
I love to be able to go from an idea, like a creative idea, to actually manifesting the end of the line, whatever that may be, whether it's a retreat or a course. Like sometimes that process can literally only be like a week or two, where it's like something comes to you in the middle of the night or in your, you know, my dreams. And then 2 weeks later, I'm teaching the thing, or it's the course is out, or I'm at the retreat, or whatever it might be. And I'm manifesting that thing. That to me is very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And intoxicating.
Yeah. And being able to like literally have the seed from your brain turn and grow into a reality.
Yes.
Like literally.
And people buying it, people liking it, people complimenting you on it and getting results on it. It's just like, wow, you just feel like magic.
Yeah.
You feel magic is possible, you know?
That's something we haven't touched on though, that you just brought up, the retreats. I forgot that you you do what? 1 to 2 retreats a year?
I do 2 to 3 retreats a year.
2 to 3. Okay. And you just rent out like some baller Airbnb,
20 grand.
Awesome spot. And you bring a bunch of people in and you just work on, you know, really just life, right?
Yeah. It's usually men, and it's basically teaching men how to be authentic, how to be real. All the spiritual lessons I learned in the Amazon and everywhere, and the shamans I've worked with, and also giving reflection about how people show up. So one of the most important things, in my opinion, in what we're talking about now with building courses, with business meetings, with life, is how do you actually show up to a room? When you're sitting in front of a room, when you show up to a party, like how is your presence, right?
Yeah.
Are you, and not like strategically, like let's make eye contact, let's be robotic. Like how are you in your body?
Yeah.
How are you comfortable? You know, what are you resonating with? Everyone knows what someone is about on an intuitive level.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You can just look at someone and you have these inner judgments and knowingnesses about them, about how they show up to a room or just about who they are, right? You don't know everything, but you know a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the thing at the retreat is we get really real about how someone shows up. And we're just like, this is how you're showing up.
You keep pointing at me. How am I showing up?
Yeah. Like you're a slouch, dude.
Yeah.
Like we'll literally just be like, dude, like you're not making eye. Like we'll just share, like you're not trustable. You're not trustable at all. I'm not saying to you, like to a certain person.
Yeah.
And we kind of, express to them like, this is why you're not, and this is how you can be more real and authentic. And it's a little bit deeper than that, but it's a process of excavation and real feedback about how someone shows up to the room.
Yep. Okay.
Not the surface level, polite sort of thing.
That's why you got to go deep. It's why it's not a day event. It's a how long are they?
5-6 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I feel like I remember one time we were talking and you were like, I really want to host a retreat. And part of my brain was like, well, you have these other things too. Yeah. But you were like, I have to host. Like, this is one of my favorite.
It is my favorite. That's my answer to your question.
Yeah.
My retreats are my favorite thing I do. The other thing was a bullshit answer.
I hear that. Yeah. Because I mean, you have done these things on repeat.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see you market those. And I am like, Josh is into these.
Yes.
And I know because like we run events too, and they are a haul. Like they take a lot out of me, but I mean, I come out of those things like vibing. Just like I don't know how to put it into perspective.
Yes.
But I think you really do. Like it is almost like one of the reasons why you do this.
It is
to create the community and to have people who are willing to fly all over from, around the globe and work on the stuff that you care about, right?
Yes.
Like the stuff that makes you happy, to be in that room. It's like for us, it's me talking about business, like ads, and that's my room. That's what I really care about. But to be able to create those spaces, so freaking awesome.
Yes.
Even if we don't make money on our events. We usually lose money on our events, but it's like, it's recharging.
My retreats are the least profitable. I'm lucky if I make like 7 or 10K, if that, right? Maybe 5K sometimes. Least profitable, most amount of work, most room, like risky and room for error and for things to go wrong.
Yeah.
Most exhausting, right? And my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's a big reason why it's not 30-day host your own retreat creator. It's 30-day course creator because I think there's a lot more systems and less stress in it. But yeah, there is something special to hosting events. And again, like I look at courses as being the vehicle that allows people to attract an event style audience, right? Like imagine running that as your main business.
The retreats, horrible.
That would be terrible. Horrible. It'd be terrible. But you can do it as like the dessert of running an online course business.
And it's like a grounding rod.
Yeah.
Because the digital money and the digital, all of that, I do feel like it has the potential to like take me away from my real essence.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of sometimes alluring and seductive. And it's like, I have all this money and I'm doing nothing.
It's a drug.
It's a drug. It can be. And then the grounding, the retreat is like, whoa, like keep me on an even keel. It doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. It's like, how am I going to be present with this human being? And
this is why you do it at the end of the day too.
Totally. And that keeps me humble.
So entrepreneurship in all forms involves risk. You have been an entrepreneur for so long and you've done a lot of different things. How are you comfortable with risk? Because that's the number one thing that stops people from ever taking the first step.
Totally.
And you've done that many times.
I keep taking bigger and bigger risks. And I think that's the way to keep growing. All the investments that I make, they keep getting bigger. They keep getting more unique, more like, oh, let's try this strategy out. So risk, it's part of the equation. It's a game. I take risks in my investments. I take risks in all arenas of my life. For me, and might not be the best answer for your audience, I go based on feel. I feel with my gut where I'm putting my money, who I'm putting my money with, what are they about, how do they carry themselves? And with all my training and all that I've been through, I can literally feel like what that person is about. Like it's going to sound weird, but like the spaces of consciousness that are behind the decision. Does that make sense?
I would relate that to like, you have
Okay.
a very good gut instinct.
Yes.
Yeah. And you trust your gut at the end of the
I
day.
trust my gut
Yeah.
fully and wholly.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at how much money or what are they promising me, or I go into all my risks knowing that money is gone.
Okay.
Right? That money's gone. I expect nothing in return, and it could be a lot of fun to try this out.
Okay.
And that's how I do all of my stuff.
So like Facebook ads, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Facebook ads are one of the things that scare people the most because
Yeah.
it involves money. It involves learning something pretty technical that like there's no high school course that gets you prepared for running Facebook ads. But what did you tell yourself in that beginning stage of the Facebook journey where you were like, yeah, it's worth trying?
Yeah. And at that point I was broke. So it was scary risks are a lot scarier when you're broke.
Yeah.
But I just knew the cost of not running Facebook ads and like not trying this game out. I would kick myself. Like, let me devote thousands of dollars to this thing before I say it's a scam or it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And so my process was just like I believe in Anthony. I believe in this path. I believe in this course. I want to know if they're full of shit or not. Like I want to know.
Yeah.
And once the machine started churning it out, it was like, I mean, for me, risks have gotten easier and easier over time. And then as you scale and get bigger as a business, risks are less and less personal and all of that, right? Like I told you, I just spent 50 grand in the last few days on some of them new stuff. And so,
no, I think you framed it perfectly. You think the same way I do about risk, which is what's the alternative and what could that potentially cost me? And I use the word regret a lot too, because it's like, which scenario will you regret more? Going down the path of trying Facebook ads and maybe losing $1,000, or not doing Facebook ads and missing out on the opportunity to make seven figures. And to me, that has always kind of steered my decision-making process, even with like stupid shit like the dishes at the end. Like you just made dinner. What are you going to regret more? Eating dinner and having to do the dishes after dinner, or doing the dishes right now and then after dinner being able to relax. And like I do that even in the morning. Like, how do you get up and go to the gym? Have you ever gone to the gym and regretted it?
Right.
No, I never have. Literally, I mean, like never. And so even with like,
I do that with cell phone. Have I ever gotten nourishment from opening Instagram? The answer is always no.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to put my phone down.
100%.
I just pause and ask myself that question sometimes.
That's the compass in my life, like right now. So like even hiring people, sometimes it's like, oh, their salary's 10 grand a month. That's 120 grand a year. But big picture, what could they potentially do, right? Like what would you miss out on by not hiring them? The alternative is staying where you're at.
Yes.
Right? Or taking on more work yourself and not being able to fish and do the other things that you love.
Yeah.
So that's been my mantra lately, for sure.
Yeah. And money changes when it's the business money versus personal money, right?
We talked about that earlier.
So it's like everything. If you get big, you have to spend thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars on experiments.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah.
And you want to stay up with the times, if you want to keep current.
Yeah. And you get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing too. People will hear, oh, you've 9 team members. And it's like, oh man, like I can't afford 9 team members. And it's like, Josh didn't start that way, right? He didn't start with 50 grand being the blink of an eye of a business expense. He started with a $700 course being an insane thing to even consider.
Break it up in 2 and put it on a credit card.
Yeah.
And also thinking about how I could potentially get like a refund or something and keep the course, like,
you bastard.
That's where I was.
Yeah. I totally get it though. And that's like, I always try to stress, knowing that our audience is normally along like the beginner line. They've maybe never they've never taken a step into online entrepreneurship. I want you to know, watching this, that like it scales so naturally over time.
Yeah.
Right. Like you literally, the first camera I got was borrowed from my girlfriend, now fiance, Courtney. And then the next camera after that, like I just scrounged together like just enough money to buy it. And it's like the first money we spent on Facebook ads was $50, right? Like, can you survive? Yeah. And then it's like, all right, now you spend 10 grand a day. And it's like, we didn't get there overnight. Yeah. And just realizing that wherever you start, somebody started with even less and they scaled to even more. So like that, the path has been walked.
Totally.
Thank you so much for flying out to, I know you didn't fly out for me, but you did take a couple extra hours to your drive. Yeah. I learned a ton in so many different areas, and I know that people watching this are going to get so much out of it. So thanks for coming out. We're going to do this every year now.
100%.
And
100%.
yeah, make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe,
There
buy
you
their
go.
course, everything, go all in. Seriously, go all in. If you are not if you want a business, if you want freedom, if you want to live the life or a percentage of the life that I'm talking about here, these guys have the real deal. Nothing I'm saying right now is because I'm friends with him, is because I've known him for a period of time. I've told my wife this hundreds of times. Anthony and the content creator team are the number one most important resource and impact in my business and financial life of my entire life following this course. So that's real. Buy their shit.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. That's a wrap. Let's go get food.